Here's the cool problem, which is easy to understand, but might be a little tricky to solve. The box has 15 marbles of green, yellow, and orange colors. There are 7 times more of green marbles than yellow. How many orange marbles does the box have? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 5. Choice B, 7. Choice C, 8. And choice D, 9. Can you calculate the answer? Or guess it? Or find out? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds to see if you can come up with the solution. Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. Interesting problem, don't you think? To solve this type of problems, let's separate facts from the formulas. We have 2 facts. We have 15 total marbles, and marbles are of 3 different colors: green, yellow, and orange. And the formula that we are presented with is that there are 7 times more of yellow marbles than the green marbles. How does it help us? With this type of information, we can easily build the calculations, and we will base our calculation based off of yellow marbles. The calculations will be yellow marbles plus 7 multiplied by yellow marble plus orange marbles equals 15. Because 15 is a relatively small number, we can start guessing how many yellow marbles are in there. Our ability to solve this challenge is based off of the fact that there is a very small number of total marbles. If we can optimize this formula and simplify it, we can come up with the formula that 8 yellow marbles plus however many orange marbles equals 15. So the question is, how many yellow marbles can there be in total? Can there be 2 yellow marbles? No, because if we will multiply 8 by 2, we will get to the total of 16 marbles, which is greater than the 15, which is the current total number of marbles. Based on this information, the box cannot have more than 1 yellow marble. And if there is only 1 yellow marble, there is going to be 7 green marbles, because we already have a formula that number of green marbles is calculated by multiplying 7 to the number of yellow marbles. So the only thing that's left is calculating how many orange marbles are out there. And we can easily calculate it by using the formula 8 plus x equals 15. So the x is calculated by subtracting 8 from 15. The x equals 7. The correct answer here then is choice B, 7. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's an excellent problem that you frequently see on the test. Anna is 4 years older than her brother. 2 years ago, her brother's age was 3/4 of Anna's age. How old her brother will be in 5 years? And you're presented with 4 different choices. Age 23, choice B 21, choice C 19, and choice D 18. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. You can either get yourself a piece of paper or do mental calculations. The problem is simple enough so you can get to the correct answer. Do you see the solution? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. The coolest thing about this problem is that it seems simple, but in reality, it deals with 3 moments in time. It deals with today moment, it deals with the moment of 2 years ago, and it deals in the brother's age in 5 years moment. As soon as we know either Anna's or her brother's age at any moment of time, we should be able to calculate brother's age in 5 years. So let's go ahead and do the calculations. In this problem, we're dealing with one fact. Anna is 4 years older than her brother, and this fact never changes. So we can build formula Anna's age equals her brother's age plus 4. We are also dealing with age-specific difference at the moment of time. For example, we've learned that Anna's brother's age was 3/4 of Anna's age 2 years ago. So let's do calculations for 2 years ago. Brother's age equals 3/4 of Anna's age. Now let's use factual information about brother's age. Brother's age equals Anna's age minus 4. And now we can create an equation based on Anna's age in the moment of time 2 years ago. Anna's age minus 4, based on the fact, equals 3/4 of Anna's age, which means that Anna's age minus 3/4 of Anna's age equals 4, 1/4 of Anna's age equals 4, and Anna's age equals 16. So 2 years ago, Anna was 16 years old, and her brother was 3/4 of 16, 12 years old. Now Anna's brother is 2 years older, which can be calculated as 12 plus 2 and equals 14 years old, which means that in 5 years, Anna's brother will be 14 plus 5, 19 years old. So the correct answer here is choice C, 19 years old. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. And now, here's the question for you to try. If you can calculate the answer, please post it in the comment section of this video so I can give you the grade. We have 2 projects, and to complete project 1, it takes 8 hours, and to complete project 2, it takes 12 hours. So how much longer in percentages it takes to complete project 1 versus project 2? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 4%. Choice B, 50%. Choice C, 100%. And choice D, 150%. Can you calculate the answer? Please make sure to post it in the comment section of this video so I can give you the grade. Thanks for participating and good luck. Here's the cool simple question, which is frequently used to test mental math capabilities. There is an unknown number you need to determine. 1 was added to this number, then 2 was subtracted from the result, and then it was multiplied by 3 and then divided by 4. The result is 6. What is the unknown number? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 6. Choice B, 8. Choice C, 9. Choice D, 12. Can you determine the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. Maybe 20 to 30 seconds if you need more time. Ready or not, I am going to continue, reveal the correct answer as well as solution on how to solve these types of challenges. The best way to solve these types of challenges is to reverse the calculation by solving the problem backwards. So what we can do, we can multiply 6 by 4, then divide by 3, add 2 and subtract 1. And the result of these calculations is 9. Let's check to make sure it's correct, which is another good idea to do on the test. Let's put in parentheses 9 plus 1 minus 2, close parentheses, then multiply the result by 3, divide by 4, and the result will be equal to 6. So the correct choice here is choice C, 9. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. It is guaranteed that you will get a question like this almost on any test. You're presented with different shapes, and you need to identify the missing shape in the sequence. You're presented with 4 different choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. Obviously, you need to look and identify the pattern. Do you see the pattern? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution and solve this challenge together. Let me first explain you the different shapes we see on the picture. Let's start with the inside diamond. You see that inside small diamond changes the colors. We have 2 black inside diamonds, then 2 white inside diamonds, and then inside diamond in the shape 5 is also black. Do you see the pattern? Now, there is also a pattern of outside triangles. You see that outside triangles in the shapes 1 and 2 are black, in the shapes 3 and 4 are white, and in the shape 5 are black. Does it ring a bell? Doesn't give you a pattern? And then the third pattern are the sides of the larger diamond. If you look closely, you see that the sides of the larger diamonds in the first shape are black, then we have 2 white shapes, and then 2 blacks again. Let's recap. Shape 2 is the first shape in the pattern, shape 3 is the second shape in the pattern, shape 4 is the third shape in the pattern, and then shape 5 is the fourth and last step in the pattern. If you look closely at the shape 1 in the picture, you see that this represents the last shape in the pattern. So the correct choice here for shape 6 would be to select the first shape in the pattern, which is the matching answer for the choice B. So the correct answer here is choice B. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems in the test. And now it's your turn. I would like you to practice and try to answer this question on your own. Please analyze the question and post your answer as well as your rationale of how you did the calculations in the comment section of this video. You're presented with 2 squares. Smaller square is inside the larger square. Both squares have numbers in the corners. The larger square has numbers 15, 11, 32, and 23. The smaller square has numbers 22, 13, 5, and 1 number is missing. And this is the number you need to calculate. You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 1, choice B, 7, choice C, 12, and choice D, 17. Do you see the pattern? Can you calculate the correct number? Please post your answer in the comment section of this video so I can give you my feedback. Thank you for participating and good luck! Here's the cool question, variations of which we frequently see on the test. Young couple drove 1,200 miles in 3 days during their honeymoon. They drove 3 times more on the first day than on the last day, and the same mileage on the second day as on the first and third days combined. How many miles did they drive each day? You have 4 different choices. For the first, second, and third day, you have choices of A, 600, 400, and 200. Choice B, 550, 450, and 250. For choice C, you have 450, 600, and 150. And for choice D, you have 450, 700, and 150. Can you calculate the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. You can use a piece of paper or you can do mental math. Now let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. 1,200 miles together with your loving partner, what could be the better time to spend? Anyway, let's first look at the facts. There are 2 facts that I'd like to point out. Fact number 1 in this problem is that on the third day, they drove 1/3 of the first day miles. They probably got tired, right? And the second fact is on the second day, they drove first day miles plus third day miles combined. So what's interesting here, can we base our calculations based off of the last day mileage? And what I mean by that is that can we use the third day miles as x in the expression we're trying to build? Based on this information, on the first day, they drove 3x miles. On the second day, they drove 3x plus x miles. In total, they drove 1,200 miles. So now we can build an expression 3x in parentheses 3x plus x, and then plus additional x equals 1,200 miles. Let's do the calculation for x, which also represents the third day. X equals 1,200 divided by 8, which is 150 miles. And this is how many miles they drove on the third day. On the first day then, they drove 3 multiplied by 150, which is an equivalent of 450 miles. And on the second day, they drove 450 plus 150 equals 600 miles. So the correct choice here is choice C. On the first day, 450 miles, second day, 600 miles, and on the third day, 150 miles. The cool thing is that you didn't just get ready for the test, but in case you have honeymoon coming up, and are interested in 3-day driving trip and have couple good locations in mind, you know how you would calculate the miles for your planned trip. Here is an interesting question which tests your understanding of percentage differences. You are presented with two projects, Project 1 and Project 2, and you need to calculate the difference between completion time for those two projects. It takes 8 hours to complete Project 1, and it takes 12 hours to complete Project 2. So, how much longer it takes to complete Project 2? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 4%, Choice B, 50%, Choice C, 100%, and then Choice D, 150%. Do you see the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds to see if you can do mental math and calculate the percentage differences. The answer might be a little trickier than you think. Are you ready? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. To get to the correct answer, we first need to understand the difference in hours between the two projects. The difference is 4 hours, and it is calculated by subtracting 8 from 12. 12 minus 8 equals 4, and that is the difference between Project 1 and Project 2 hours. In the second step, we need to divide the difference by the number of original hours, and the original hours would be Project 1 hours. 4 divided by 8 is 0.5, and then we need to multiply 0.5 by 100%. So the correct answer here is choice B, 50% increase. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. This is a very interesting question which requires you to do calculations based on the pattern that you need to detect. You're presented with two squares. Small square is located inside the larger square. There are numbers in all corners of the larger square as well as in all corners in the smaller square. If we start looking at the numbers in the upper left corner and go clockwise, you see the numbers 15, 11, 32, and 23. In the smaller square, the numbers are 22, 13, and 5, and one number is missing, and this is the one that you need to calculate. Your choices are Choice A, 1, Choice B, 7, Choice C, 12, Choice D, 17. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. Possibly pause this video to see if you can come up with the answer. Do you see the pattern? Did you calculate the answer? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. As you might have guessed, the pattern here is that the difference between numbers in diagonally opposite corners of the larger and smaller squares is 10. For example, let's look at the upper left corner. The difference between 15 and 5 is 10. If we look at the bottom right corner, the difference between 32 and 22 is 10. And the lower left corner, the difference between 23 and 13 is 10 as well. So to calculate the missing number, we need to calculate the difference between 11 and 10. And the difference is 1. So the correct answer here is choice A, 1. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's one of my favorite questions, and it is my favorite because it is so unusual. You are presented with the pyramid. Pyramid contains 5 different layers. If we go from the top to bottom, you have a question mark. This is the number that you need to uncover. The next layer contains numbers 24 and 28. Layer below this contains numbers 10, 12, and 14. Next layer has 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the last layer has numbers 3, 1, 4, 2, and 5. You're presented with 4 different choices for the missing number. Choice A, 55. Choice B, 56. Choice C, 57. And choice D, 60. Do you see the answer? You will be surprised how simple it is to get to the answer when we go to the next step. Give yourself 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds to see if you can calculate and get to the correct answer. Did you figure it out? Let's continue and see how we can get to the correct solution together. Well, here, to be honest, I tried to trick you. I went in describing numbers from top to bottom, but in reality, you should be looking at the numbers from bottom to the top. If we start from the bottom row, for example with numbers 3 and 1, you see that the sum of 3 and 1 will add up to 4. But then it gets trickier. If we go from the second row to the third row, you see that the 4 and 5 does not necessarily add up in 10. 4 and 5 adds up in 9, and then you need to increment it by 1. If you go to the next layer, you need to increment it by 2. And then in the final row, you need to increment it by 3. So the correct answer here is choice 55. Let's recap. Starting with the bottom row, the sum of two squares results in the number in the next row. For example, 2 plus 5 equals 7. However, as each level continues, the sum increases by 1. For example, 4 plus 5, we need to increment and add 1 to get to 10. So the answer is calculated by adding up 24 plus 28 plus 3, which would be equal to 52 plus 3 and would be equal to 55. The correct answer here is choice A, 55. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please give us a like and consider subscribing. Thank you for your endorsement, support and patronage. Please also check out additional resources in the description section of this video. I also encourage you to check resources page on our website, howtoanalyzedata.net. Please leave your feedback, corrections or suggestions in the comment section of this video. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.